Mic check. 1 2 1 2. What's up? Hello. Hello, people. It's been a while. Let me first maybe tune this down a little bit. Just on my headphones. As you might be able to deduce, it's quite sunny outside. That's probably because it's June. And yes, the sun does shine indeed in Belgium as well. But tomorrow I cannot stream. And this morning it was very rainy, so I thought, oh, maybe I should stream Saturday instead of Sunday. And here we are. Last week I couldn't stream because I was at an amazing unconference called Socrates UK, where I met a bunch of new people, amazing new people. Yeah. But today, what we're gonna do is this, to remove a competitor from a competition. Bam. What is that thing? Let's see here what I wrote. Why this feature? Well, when a user made a mistake of adding some name to the competitor list, there's no way of correcting that mistake aside from starting a new competition, so that's not very user-friendly, is it? And then I also thought about some tasks. One way is to redesign the way competitors of a competition are displayed so that they're clickable, I guess. Also, to make sure that the database stays in sync with whatever happens in the front end, I'll need to add a REST API call so that a user is actually able to remove a competitor in the database as well. And then when deleting a competition, all its competitors should also get removed. So that's called orphan removal, I guess. And then we'll need some scenario test as well. Right. So let's first of all, because I had to update my NPM. Oh man, this is barely visible for me because the sun is shining and that stuff, but I guess it's okay for you guys, I hope. Or you folks. I'm gonna really try and not say guys and say folks instead. Alright, so let's first of all check that this is still fine. And while that is going, let's launch a Postgres. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Oops. Oh. apparently there's already a Postgres running, so let's get rid of those. And then there we go, and then rerun Docker container. There we go, so that's running. While that is running, npm install didn't do anything, so I'll be able to do this, and we'll start our Spring Boot application as well. And this should get us going. Oh, by the way, Nightbot, why don't you spam some useful information in chat? Oh yeah, why not? There we go. There we go. Right, so backend is running, frontend is running, database is running. So let's check out what our application looks like. Ooh. We instantly get a 404. That can't be the idea. I remember, or vaguely remember, adding that last time. So there are challenges, but now root seems to go nowhere. Or well, actually reroutes to 404. So this is what the application looks like. We've got some challenges that are made preemptively. There's a competition that I also create. And then to a competition, one can add competitors. So let's add Snarf, for example, maybe also Lion-O or something. And then what we can do is by clicking on a challenge, we can say, well, who completed Bully that challenge? And then we'll select Lion-O, for example. And now Lion-O has 1 point. If we were to add Snarf to this thing, and then also maybe the Allo challenge, Snarf should have 4 points. We did that allocation last time. You can also create a new competition. A new competition shouldn't be, or shouldn't have, the same ID as the one before. And then you can also create challenges or new challenges so that you can then select them to create your new competition. That's about all our application can do right now. And then today, let's try and focus on this so we can try and remove a competitor from a competition. So for us to do that, the first thing we need to do is to redesign the way the competitors are shown. How are they shown right now? Well, if you click on a competition, this is the way they're shown right now. We'll get just a list of competitors. Somehow you can click on them. That shouldn't be a thing, at least not now. Right, so what we want to do is to be able to delete them somehow. So let's maybe first do the Vue.js part. So I'll open up my Vue folder. So this is all front-end, the UI bit. We've got a couple of views, challenges, competition, detail. That's the one we'll need. And in this, we show a list of competitors somewhere, or that's what I expect at least. Well, or maybe it's a computed property. Yeah, it's a computed property. So yeah, because we returned the entire competition, and then competition has competitors. So that's how those are fetched. Right. Then. Here are the current competitors. Here put in items. But that's just Vuetify styling components. They are disabled, or maybe it's because they're items that you can't do anything with them yet. So I'll have to refresh what a Vuetify V item is actually. Oops, maybe don't do that. Okay, selectable items. I guess we don't need selectable items, do we? Unless these are the selectable items. I don't want to patch delete or something anyway, so I just want to provide some, what are they called again? Pills, I think I call them in the task. Pills. I think we do render, like if you were to select this thing, I think is a pill. Let's check out what that thing is called, in fact. Oh, these are chips, okay. V chips. Chips. Yeah, looks legit. So these are the things I want to, let's rename that for consistency's sake, because otherwise, chip. Oops, there we go. So let's just find out if that's a good way to render them first. We make V-chip. They are in an item group. I don't think I'll need that though. Groups, item groups. Oh. Okay, so that's a good thing that I put them in a group then. So the only thing I'll need to do now is not use vchip, but instead use, sorry, not vitem, use vchip instead. Sorry about that. And then let's go to an existing competition. All right. So now our competitors are listed. Let me also get rid of that comma. And then I guess also get rid of this, because I don't think it'll add something. Oh yeah, they put it in italics, but I don't want that. Okay, cool. So now they are indeed disabled. So let's maybe not disable these. Okie dokie. So now you can click on them, but it's kind of useless to be able to click on them. I think I want to add X's so I can X them out. Let's see. So this one has, so it's still selectable though, but I want to be able to click on this thing. With icon, with portrait, and closable. So I think add remove button. Or let's do close is true, I guess. No compilation errors, but I think, okay. Yeah, cool. I thought so. We'll need to bind this to that property instead of just passing a string. And then it should be fine. See? Great, so now I imagine we'll need to add some behavior to that close thing. By the way, if you have any questions, shoot. So these are all of the properties. That's input. I thought, yeah, maybe. See, they have nice icons as well. Ooh, what we also could do actually is display the points this competitor has. That would be cool. But maybe for a next feature. Listen to the input event if you want to know when a chip has been closed. Okay, cool. So that's the only thing I'll need to do is let's maybe put these things on a new line and then also say when how are we gonna call this? It shouldn't be just closed, it should be remove competitor, and then I hope the key will be sent along to that thing, to this function, but I'm not sure. Let's look at the docs again, I guess. Examples. Example. Closable. Alright, this should have some code, right? Close. Oh, that's the only thing you need to do. Okay. Okay. That'll be easier then. There we go. Put that here. And then there's just a click registered, but then nothing else. Interesting. Because if I click on this, nothing happens. Damn, it's hot. Oh, in selects. Remove and then data.item. Okay. Remove competitor, data.item. Not really sure what the data stands for here. Oh, selection. Oh, selection. Data.selected. So in my case, that would be what? Items. Here are the chips. Alright. So the chips would be programming, playing video games, watching movies, or sleeping. Okay, and then here they choose chips, they add it in an item, and then they have so vCombobox has a slot, they fill a slot with this data thing. I didn't see that. Okay. I think in our case, the thing that's being rendered here is a competitor, I think. So what we could do is competitor maybe competitor ID. just do that. Then create this function somewhere, which will take in a competitor to remove. This is a competitor, which I don't have. Oh, I do. Okay. Oh, this screen really. Let's see. Competition, competitors, and then remove or delete. Not sure if I can do that actually, yeah, because what actually is this? An array? Can't you just remove something? My TypeScript is a bit rusty. Or, you know, non-existent. I guess what we could do is just recreate the competitors array or something. Changes the contents of an array by removing or replacing existing, and then I can't see anything. Maybe it's time to switch to light because this is really I can actually see stuff now. But ugly, but functional though. Right. So what we're gonna do is find the well, first let's just look up maybe on MDN array remove or something, because I really thought you could do that. Shift. Oh, why is it in Dutch? Oh. Let's do English. Where's English? What? Is it because my browser is in Dutch somehow? No. English. Guess I need to use splice. Yeah, the thing I was looking for is a set, I guess. Alright, so let's find the competitor with find index, yeah. Does this thing So this is the internal competitor. And then we'll check whether comp equals competitor to remove. And then if it is, we have the index. Yeah. Now I'd rather do it on ID, of course. I mean, of course. So let's do that. .id. This should be a string then. And then comp.id equals this thing. That was it. It is an ID, right? Yeah, it's a string. Yeah, okay, cool. And then we'll do splice start, which is the index, I think, or I hope. Shouldn't have closed that. Delete count. Oh, well, let's just do delete one then. And does it return a new array or modify it? It modifies it. Ugh. Here we go. There we go. Yes. All right, that should do it, I hope. Let's see if that indeed just gets rid of snarf, for example, if I click on it. It sure does. Okie doke. That's that. Now, I don't think we want to do this, actually. Because what we really want to do is perform a REST API call to remove it and then refresh the page. Or fetch the competition again. Because the competition should then not have that competitor in it anymore. So that's that, I think. Yeah. So if you just refresh it, they're there again. Nice. Okay, I think I'll commit this actually. We'll commit this separately. We are working on number 27. And what we did was competitors are closable chips. There we go. Let's just push that. Then we'll just fix this updated package log for some reason. Alrighty, and then so that's this task completed, I guess. Then we'll add a REST API call to remove a competitor from a competition. So let's start doing that. We've got a competition controller, I think. This is where we should start, right? We've got a test for that as well. So let's create a test function that says post API competition comp ID, remove something like this. Do we have a list of or interaction with competitors elsewhere? Just adding a competitor. I think I'm gonna, yeah, call it this. Remove competitor should remove the given competitor. That's it. And then I want should return 400, I guess. When no competitor found for given ID or something. Seems legit. Then Tourney, thanks for following. Okay. Ooh. Right, I'll need this as well, I guess. This should be easy. Should return 404 when no competition found for given competition ID. And then you say don't add but remove. Here's the given competition ID. And everything is I guess here it should be maybe just an ID though. Or we could just send along the entire thing, right? What does it look like now in our view thing? Let's make this into the competitor again, and then just check on ID, and then pass along the competitor. And then we can indeed pass a competitor to this thing, so that should be okay as well. Great. And then I'll just try and run this test. It won't work. But yeah, I wonder what I expect now actually as a result, because I haven't mapped this particular URL to the competition controller. Unparsable JSON string. So now I'm getting a 404, but this is not. This is not the thing I'm like getting big. So my exception that's being thrown from Spring is translated into a 404. I mean 404 status code, because well, there's no function listed. So what I'll do is we'll put that here. Then call this remove competitor. It should be remove competitor here as well. And then what we could do is just do this. Then we'll know for sure that we'll have an incorrect implementation. But at least we'll know that our URL is being hit from the test. All right. So we're getting a 202 instead of a 404. So the thing I'm gonna do first is just do this. Yes, I sure did copy paste. Why did I do that, you'll ask? Because it's the same. And then we'll extract this into a function once this thing is green. Yay! Right, so now we've got duplication. Let's extract this. Find competition. Or throw. There we go. Confused. Why? Because this should be the exact same thing. Find competition or throw. That's weird, huh? I haven't run all the tests. So let's do that before we continue. Alright, this gives me more confidence to continue the good work. And then this, oh yeah, let's just return this inline. Move this private function all the way to the bottom. And then we want to, I think we just want to remove the competitor. And then have our domain throw the exception. So what I want it to look like is like this. Remove competitor. Competitor. Then I'll want to save the competition again and then return accepted. Seems cool. And then what do I want to do? So this should be my signature, or at least something that I think it should be my signature. So what I'm gonna do next is, while I do have unimplemented tests for now, I'm gonna add this function to remove a competitor and then start creating the unit tests for that. Remove competitor. Wait, is this the right test? I guess it is. It's got competition test. Should be okay, right? Yeah. Remove competitor. When no competitor, matching competitor maybe, is found, throw domain exception. So that's bad case. When matching competitor is found, remove it from the competition. Great. So what I'll need is I'll need a competition that has a competitor. And since I don't really care about this, oh, it's nice that you renamed the variable to the xxx to be removed, right? I didn't, that came natural, but yeah. Thanks for the compliment. So I want to extract this in a function that's just gonna create a competition with a competitor. You know what? Let's wait a little bit with this because I think I'll need something different. So we'll have, let's just say we'll have two competitors. So this should be the setup for here as well. And then whenever I would call, so this is all set up and we'll extract it into something something better at a later time. So I want to remove a competitor. Which one do I want to remove? Let's say I want to remove Leono. Then we'll assert that some competition. Yikes. Competitors contains, well, contains exactly snarf. And then here this thing should be throwing something, so let's say assert that thrown, assert that exception of type. Oh, and now I have to go back and check whatever the exceptions are called. Competition already exists. Domain. Oh wait, I don't have a specific exception just yet. So it should be a domain runtime exception though. So let's just do that then. Is thrown by this thing. So that's what that should look like. And I'll want another competitor called Wily Cat. There we go. Now, if I were to run this, something happens. So now we get the to-do thing, or the to-do exception. Which is great, so whoops. Let's remove that then. Now it doesn't do anything. Now my test should fail differently. Yeah. Oh, them both at the same time. All right. I wonder if you can do that. So I don't know Kotlin all that well. I'm not sure if I can do this, but my tests will help me out. All right, seems legit. So that's good. And then what we'll do is we'll see. Can you do first with a? It'll always return. And this does return. Okay. So let's find our competitor. I might be able to rewrite this a little bit differently though. Competitor to be removed ID. Then if it doesn't exist, then I want to throw a, yeah, I guess, sure, my domain runtime. This is an abstract one. Maybe let's use this one.
We're all leaving.
Competitor with ID.
You feel me with you right now.
Not found. Something like this, maybe? Let's rerun the tests. Okay. Just looking for a function that instead of a minus. I wonder if I can drill down on this. So there's no optional necessary. We'll actually find returns Kotlin's alternative to optional, which is the question mark. So in Java, which I'm making assumption that you know, that you know Java, and maybe not know Kotlin, or you might have a preference for optional in any case. But so in Kotlin, everything is not null, unless you put a question mark behind it. And in that case, this means that remove competitor can take in an argument that might be null. So unlike Java, Kotlin makes sure that this is never null, which is really nice. And then I think, oh damn. So this is the optional counterpart. You can map it immediately. Let's see if I can drill down on this. Minus, okay. But then minus returns a list, of course, yeah. And here we are in metadata of Kotlin in the standard lib, so it's not really what I was looking for though. Maybe there's a minus on competitors though. Minus. Which will always return a list minus element. Yeah, no. I think this is okay. It makes it explicit that if this wasn't found, I guess, then we throw an exception. It could be done a little bit better. But I'm not gonna bother with that actually. Since this stuff is working, it's throwing an entity not found domain runtime exception. Which might be... It's more specific than that, but at least this is okay. I think I do, or I don't, I guess. I thought maybe to move that method closer to the bottom, but that should be okay. Maybe if anything, the init should be a little bit higher though, because this is basically the constructor bit. Okay, nice, nice. So this thing is green. So what we'll do next is go back to our controller and try and write a proper test for that. That actually can't fail now. Let's go cheat and look at how we did add competitor. Complete challenge. And here, add competitor. Right, so we'll want this thing, then we'll need to make sure that we have a competition with a snarf. Now I'm thinking that maybe I should start creating a test builder for competition, because here I mean in this test case I'll need a competition that has a competitor and any competitor. So I don't need to write this anymore because it's duplication, right? So you know what? Let's just try and let's try and do that. Let's first just make a competition test builder. Ooh. Well, let's go here. And then in the test package or test module, we'll say here's a competition test builder. And then what I will do is I'll extend maybe make a class first. Oh, yeah. What does this thing have? It should have these properties as a competition has. Fix formatting later. Should not be a data class. You can get rid of that. There we go. And it should have a build method. which should return a competition. And then what we'll try and do is, we'll say, let's just make this kind of competition. Let's give it the name. Ah, damn, I can't pass along an actual ID to it though. Because I think, yeah, I created a private constructor. Let's make this a protected constructor then, maybe. Maybe then I can. I'm not sure if this will work though. Oh, derp. It is protected, yeah. So now I'm in Gotland land where I'm not really sure. I don't want to make it public, I guess. Oh, the init is. Make this thing public. I want something like something that's just accessible from within test, from within this specific test class, so that I can pass along an ID to a competition. Maybe I can change it afterwards or something. Would be weird, right? Okay, let's just first do this, because I don't think I'll have an issue with an ID yet. And then what I'll do is I'll create that takes in all of these, returns a competition task builder, and returns a competition task builder. Something like this, and then I hope what I'll be able to do is go back to my test, and then instead of doing this, I think I should be able to do competition for test. Nee. Right. Oh, damn. Yeah. So I want to add a static extension function. Let's look that up. Gotland static extension function. There you go. sure if you can do that actually. Ah, yeah, you need the companion object, of course. Companion dot. Huh. Why is that? Oh, capital C, I guess. Yeah, okay. Great. Then go back here. There we go. So now we only have competition for test available in our test module, and hopefully not. So let's, for example, go to competition controller. If I say competition for tests, this thing is not available in production code, and it is available during test. Nice. It says it takes an ID, but I don't do anything with that ID actually. So let's get rid of that. There we go. And then eventually we'll try and call build, which is going to return a competition. So since we've got that, let's... I thought you could do stuff like this. Guess not. So, yeah, these things shouldn't probably be modifiable. There we go. So then eventually we'll call build. This thing returns a competition. And now let's just rename this to default competition for tests or something. And then say, ooh, oh no, we don't need any of that crap. Oh my lord. Okay, hang on. Since we've got named parameters in Kotlin, we don't need to make a builder pattern in Kotlin. I think what we should be able to do is don't care about the name. I don't care about... Let's say I want to add competitors is a list of, and then these two. Been using Visual Studio Code the last couple of days and I'm getting my shortcuts mixed up. Right. So this is what I think it should look like. And then I don't care about end or start date. I just care that these competitors are in there. This looks cool. Let's create that parameter. Oof. Okay, now I don't know what it's gonna look like. Yeah, I think this is gonna be fine. Ha! Great. And then let's add some defaults. So for example, this should be default competition. Start date should be of, I don't know, man. Fool's Day. And then let's do 11 days later or 10 days later. Then let's pass that as a variable to that string as well. Which should be private. Nice. And then whenever we create this competition, we can say competition, well, actually competitors for each. This is a weird for each. It's this one I wanted. Let's do competition. Add competitor it. And then return the competition. Okay, cool. So I guess we'll do need a build because, or do we? So instead of returning a builder, what we could do is this, and then I can inline this. Is that possible? No. It should be this, right? And then you don't even need a builder. You just depend on named parameters. Oh, this is neat. Let's just keep on calling it a test builder though. And then if you go back to here, this can go. Nice. What's this thing? Convert to width. Oh yeah. Don't need to do that. Cool. So this is gonna turn into something really cool. I don't need to do this anymore. Could inline these, but maybe let's not. Okay, like this then. Let's run the tests again. Should have the same result. Alright, cool. Then let's go back to our controller and then create some competition. You know what we could do is have our default competition actually have competitors. But it makes more sense if they don't. If this is an empty list. And then what? Then let's just create no, just make a variable snarf, which is a competitor name snarf. Here we go. Then we've got a competition, which is cool. And then we can say when our competition repository mock does this thing. Let's Let's do a bit of a copy paste of this shit here. Shall we? So we'll end up calling remove competitor with given competition ID. There we go. And then given competition ID. So the ID is actually taken from what the name looks like, which is secret information for me. And it's not that explicit now, but I'm not really sure if it couldn't hurt. It also doesn't matter that this name is in fact exactly the same. You know what, so let's not do it then, if it doesn't matter. This here, though, this does matter. So whenever that happens, then return our sum competition. Cool. Which is a list, which is a competition that has a snarf. And then, ooh, this should be snarf to JSON that we're sending along, because otherwise IDs won't match. Then we'll say do this, and then we'll say and expect status or something. Yeah, is accepted. And then the other thing we could do is verify that our competition, competitoin, this thing here, had save called with some competition. Here equality check will happen, which will be based on what? It's not a data class, so I think it's just gonna be a reference. I'm not creating anything yet, so here we're just verifying that the competition that was fetched using a repository with this function is also the same one being saved. That's good, I guess. And then the other thing we could do is check that its competitors is empty now, actually. Let's do this first before we verify. Okay, cool. So this should be, well, actually a running test already. Or I might have not called remove competitor. No, that's a thing I actually already did. Maybe I didn't save yet though. No, it's just green. Okay, fine. Yeah, I did both of these. So let's verify that our test is actually working. Otherwise, what's the use of writing tests? Should inspire trust, and trust we have. Because save wasn't called. Or it was called somehow. Huh. So even though I didn't call save, it did get called somehow. Yeah. So I think this is because why? Because hibernate is hibernate and is gonna try and save it whenever it exits this function. Because why? Because this is a REST controller, and REST controller have a transactional. Controller has a transactional. No, then I don't know. then I do not know. That's weird, right? Don't really feel like... Oh, maybe I did add... No, I did change something, so it should be removed. Interesting. Wanted. Save. Actual invocation has different arguments. Oh. Let's check if this works. I still have it in comments, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think it'll get called automatically. I think it's because it's this CRUD repository thing, and yeah, that's really too bad. Let's put a breakpoint here. Rerun this test in debug, and then hopefully we'll enter our breakpoint and then are able to deduce from the stack trace. Okay, so I guess not. Maybe it's not the simple JPA repository then. Okay, now I have really no idea. Anyway, so it's a good thing that I can write a failing test. It's just that the argument is a bit weird. Like, I didn't expect that. So it's a good thing that we did this, and that it is indeed the same ID. And then we could do that, so that's good. Then if we put that in comment, and we ran all of the tests. Remove competitor. Okay, cool. And it should be empty. So, good test, correct implementation. Now let's fix this as well, which you haven't really tested just yet. So the setup is gonna look almost the same, and then instead of passing along snarf, what we want to do is pass along Lion-O. And then it shouldn't be is accepted, but should be a bad request. Then this should remain the same, so it should still contain snarf, and save should not have been called. Never. No. This is gonna be interesting. Ah, shit. I wonder if this works, because we did notice that it was, yeah, I mean, the remove is before the save, so the exception will not execute the save thing. Ooh, we are getting a 404. Ah, yeah, because domain entity not found exception returns a 404. Hmm. Do I want that? Ah, okay, now it's better. Do I want that? So let me fill you in on what I'm talking about. So we've got these exceptions, and I've got an exception handler,
Well, I came upon a spot that was
which
simply
says that
the
whenever it's
most
domain
beautiful spot I've ever
runtime,
seen in my life.
try
I said at
and
that time, if I ever had the
translate it using this
power, I
status
would build a
from
house.
thing.
I always wanted a house in the
Status
mountains. When I
from
was a kid, I wanted a house in the mountains, and I said if I ever get the chance, I'd build a house in the mountains.
this thing here is my
And then
custom
I came and I did, and
HTTPS
I built it
status
on the
code,
spot that to me was,
and my
as I
entity
said, the
not
most
found
beautiful
domain
spot I've ever
runtime
seen.
exception has a 404. So I will translate entity not found to an actual 404. Now in my case, or sorry, in this specific case where we are trying to remove a competitor that doesn't exist on a competition, I thought, well, maybe you've set up a bad request, but is that correct? The URL does exist, right? And then I think it is a bad request. It should be a bad request. So maybe it shouldn't be a domain entity not found exception. And in that case, I think I'm not gonna throw this, but instead maybe like have a real specific exception. For example, we've got this one. I also wonder if this is like a good place to have that thing, because I think it's only gonna be thrown from
That was simply
oof
the most
from the
beautiful spot
competition
I'd ever seen in my
controller.
life.
Okay. Ah yeah. Okay. Right. How did I do that with a challenge already completed exception? So this is sort of the same thing. And I want competitor not found. Something like this, maybe. So it is a domain runtime exception. And then
And it was away from things.
it should say, maybe let's pass in a competitor ID or something. This looks fine to me. Let's check if all of my tests are running actually, because I seem to have forgotten to do that. There's also, I haven't actually checked that yet. Commit that. That's another thing that we did, was to add the competition test builder. That's a big commit actually, yeah. Ooh. Added, remove competitor to API. Plus introduced competition task builder. That should be good. Then we'll commit the competition detail view separately, maybe? Should we? One warning found. Let's check that out then. Oh. Thanks, DallyJ. Hoppa. Sweet. Pass. Complete. Well, actually, you know what? Called REST API from UI. So this is the thing we're gonna do next. Ooh, maybe we can tick boxes. Oh. Wow. Something for next thing. So let's do some wiring next, so that whenever we do something from the UI, it also actually gets done. We'll do that here. All right, so instead of doing this, we'll say this Axios thing. That means that it's gonna be an async method. This shouldn't happen. Is post what? Competition. This dot competition ID. Remove competitor. And then what are we gonna remove? Well, not the index, but then actually the thing. Find. Oh. What does this thing return actually? No. Okay, and then what? So let's also not do anything like this, and then refresh. Yep. Let's move this up a little bit. Mirror, maybe like her. Okay, let's find out if this is gonna work. Ooh, exciting. Exciting good. Okay, so we've got a competition. We haven't redeployed our application. So let's do that first. So otherwise, all of my blood, sweat, and tears that went into these changes of the last hour or something, half hour, are not gonna be rewarded. Okay, so it reran. So now I do have a remove competitor. Since it restarted, I have no competitors just yet. Let's also add Tourney. Nice. And then let's also check in our database. That we do indeed have all right. And then let's get rid of Tourney. Something happened to Tourney. Rather, nothing happened to Tourney. That's weird. Like absolutely nothing happened. Okay. Wait, so why is it still in there? Refresh it. Oh, I know why. God damn it. Sneaky. We will need to... Nope, I am confused. Let's check the network thing. Okay. So, we will refresh. Then we will do this. And then we'll see payload. It's got an ID of this 758A57. This is the same one. So I was suspecting that my controller, well, actually, yeah. So the thing that I think is happening is that this is not being modified. I'm not really sure. Let's rerun this in debug. Okay, let's try it again. Restart it, so no competitors. Alrighty, let's just go back here. Alright. First we check ID of Snarfist 21 something something. It's right here. It's got no... Okay. indeed confused. Let's move in here. Eat it, find it. And then we update our competitors. I think. It gets saved. Our competition now should only have... God damn it. I was gonna say should only have Lion-O, but somehow it's not working. What? That's strange. Yeah, maybe this just doesn't work. I'm not sure if this is gonna work actually. Let's see if the unit test still works with that code. I've got a sneaking suspicion that they're not equal. But I mean, whenever we run it, from the web page. Okay, let's rerun our Spring Boot application so that these changes get deployed. And then what? Then we can retry. Check in our controller. Put the breakpoint there. And then just retry. Okay, they seem to be here, right? Snarf. Ya bastard. Okay, so I think I need to rewrite my unit test for the removal because it returned a false positive. Because with the wrong implementation, it was still working. So this is the fix. And this somehow also worked. Okay, so I think the way to fix this, or to well, break it. I wonder what the difference was between these two things. Is instead of doing this, let's just recreate Lion-O like this. Which is in fact the same, right? It's just not by reference. But I thought it was gonna work because it's a data class. And then it's not. Yeah. it actually throws an exception now. That's even weird. Ah, yeah, wait, hang on. I do need to copy Lionel. Because the ID is the same. I don't want a random ID. Dang nabbit, it still works. Okay, let's try and do this then. Otherwise, I have no idea what the problem is.
I just like looked at this guy and he was like asleep, and I literally thought in my mind like I could literally stay here forever, and that was probably like the best moment.
So the thing I think is happening and is breaking stuff is that Jackson, whenever we pass along a JSON object to here, Jackson is trying to maybe I should just work on based on ID and nothing else. Because this crap, who cares? Yeah. Let's fix that actually. Okay. Since I don't have a competitor ID, it should be a UUID though. Yeah, okay. Competitor ID to be removed, I guess. This should also... Oh wait, hang on. The request body shouldn't change. It should be here that it changes. So this should become ID. Then we'll... Yeah, change the parameter to accept a UUID. And then this can just be competitor removed. Yeah, and then we can't do this anymore. Okay, then we'll have a less clear message though, but so be it. Just make it like that, and then we don't need this. There we go, and then this can be transformed into this let expression. There we go, and that should fix these things. So here we've got Lionel ID. Alrighty, here it should just be any random video ID. There we go. Then let's go back to our controller test. Verify that this stuff still works. And then we can still pass the entire object, which we then only use the ID from, I guess. Yeah. Okay. That was minimal change, I think, right? Let's go here, rerun all of the tests again, because I'm paranoid like that. And then now it should actually work. The thing I'm thinking about is that we've sort of lost the reason why this implementation didn't work though. But it does make sense that you want to do this. It's in fact my intuition that I had when I was writing it anyway. Let's also rewrite this a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's test this thing out again. And now it should still work. Alright, let's do some manual testing. Add Lion-O, snarf. Get rid of Lion-O. Let's not get into these breakpoints. Goodbye Lion-O, goodbye snarf. Let's check out the database. Yeah, okay, so that's my sneaky suspicion. Sneaking. So whenever we delete a competitor from a competition that is no longer attached to a competition, we should also get rid of just get rid of the competitor instead of only deleting the link. What happens if you add snarf twice? You can do that? Yeah, there's two Tims in real life, so I guess it's fine. Well, I guess we'll face that problem later. I guess now it's not really a problem, right? We don't do anything by name anyway. Alright. I think I'm gonna commit because all tests were green. Oh, this is exactly what we did actually. And then also corrected remove competitor implementation because it wasn't working. At least this is a little bit more positive, which is right in line with what I'm trying to become, which is more positive. What? More? Oh boy. Yeah, you lie, IntelliJ. You lie. Commit. Ya bastard. Push it. Alright. Now. Boxes to tick? No. Maybe we should also... Maybe what we first should do is write a test that the competitor is actually gone from the database before we do this one. Because here we want a cascade to happen. It's a little bit different, right? Someone select me. Oh. Unrelated slacks, okay. Sorry. Alright, let's check it out. Right, where were we? Maybe first make competition repository integration test happen. Or put it in a competitor, maybe? I don't know. No, it's should be here. We need some competition ID. That's all fine. And then removing competitor also cleans up the database or the table. So we have a competition. A default competition for test that has competitors are Snarf and Lion-O. They seem to be our favorites. Panthro not getting any love. Oppa, Lion-O. And then I think we'll need to persist them both. Don't do that. Then competition. Then also save this one. Snow competition. Jesus, what am I doing? And then I would like to. Can you do that? Competition repository find. Find this one. Remove. Remove. You what, mate? What does this return? Oh, you bastard. Now I know that there is like a thing that just returns. Find like Kotlin find by ID or something. Maybe I don't have it here. Ah, there we go. Find by ID or null. There we go. And this is an extension function from Kotlin on CRUD repositories that just does translation of optional into Kotlin types. So if I have that, then remove competitor. Let's get rid of Snarf. No, let's get rid of Lion-O. There we go. Let's just assume that we found the competition. And that we then, remove Lion-O from it, and then save it again. And then Good query. How do you do that again? Like, there's a way to create. Create query. This is nasty though. Select count from competitor. Where what am I doing? Where you know, like this, yes. There might be, you know what? There is a competitor repository as well. Find, which I don't have injected yet. So let's do that, shall we? Or repository, there we go. And then find by ID, that's right. Or just find something else. Get, find one. Get one. Get snarf. No, Lionel. What does this do? No, okay, so I need to find one. Find by ID or null. There we go. And then insert that. This is in fact null. Okay, this should be it. Let's do this instead. Okay. This hopefully fails. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to dark mode because the sun has gone away. And this is more pleasing. Cool. So we did reproduce. Nice. Now let's do some. Let's restart presentation mode apparently. And then I think what I need to do is put like cascade or something. Cascade. All. No, this is not gonna fix it, I think. And it needs orphan removal to True. I think this should fix it. When does throw that? Collection was no longer referenced. Why is that? Oh yeah, that's because the minus updates it, but Then add competitor should also fail. Oh yeah, and it does. Fuck! So I think the reason why is because I'm modifying this collection. I mean, it's like an entire new collection and not... Fuck. Fuck you, Hibernate, I hate you. You can't. It's not a... I mean, you can't use an array for that then anymore. Or a list. For that matter. God, I hate you, Hibernate. Google, to the rescue. It seems I've been here before. Oh, cool. Right. Yeah, you can't do that. Oh boy. Do I really want to do this? Fucking Hibernate. So in theory, oh, they are both variables already. Oh yeah. Okay, so then if I provide a custom setter, then and now I don't need an empty list, but a mutable. And then that should also be a mutable list. Since it's private anyway, I guess it's fine. And then we'll also do this. And you can't do this anymore. But then it becomes this. Add a challenge.
Sometimes when I can't find my room, I just sit and hold on to you. And it keeps me safe, yeah, it keeps me safe. And I really wish we could just stay. The time just keeps running away.
Oh boy. Let's just rerun this first. That doesn't work. And then run these again. So I think the mutability thing is contained because I only have accessors through the functions on competition. Okay, now my add is working, but this doesn't work. Okay. So now there's a cascade. Dude. Okay. This is so ugly though. Okay, so it is private, it's a mutable list, which I don't really know that many downsides of at the moment, but I am exposing competitors as a regular list. So within competition, competitors and challenges are mutable, which I guess it's still, I mean, it's a good trade-off, right? But if it weren't for Hibernate, I wouldn't have done it. So anyway, do I actually, wait, I don't need these setters actually, right? I can just do this. Yeah. Okay. Then we'll rerun. Then add some. So this is manual testing again. All right. And now Snarf shouldn't be a competitor. Cool. All right, let's do that. Removing a competitor. should delete it from the database. Okay. Let's add that to the captain's log as well. Captain's log. Today is the 15th. Jesus. What did I do? What did I do? Oh yeah. Made competitors mutable list because of Hibernate. Because why? If you try deleting or removing, no, because Hibernate will lose its reference to the competitors if you do competitors. This is it. It's still okay because it only remains mutable within competition. There we go. Let's amend that commit. And then push it. Okay. So then when we delete a competition, deleting a competition also removes, or I'll delete its competitors. Okay, then here is the saved or persisted competition. Then we fetch it again, and then we will delete the competition. So this should be null. Snarf should be null. And this should be null. Alright, let's do it. Oh shit. Let's make it compile first. Sorry, IntelliJ. Yay. So So that was already the case because of the ladder implementation. Savage Coder says, I love the backticks for test names. I feel like I can actually describe what mine do now. Ha. Yeah, you're right. I also I love them as well. Plus, added benefit, if you do list function names, you can instantly read what this thing does. You can get a really nice overview. Like, try doing this with the regular test names, right? Okay, here you can, oh, if you go to the test. The rules for a competition. I really love this as well. Right. It's a good thing to say why we love Kotlin, right? There we go. Let's push that and then also tick some boxes. All right. Tick some goddamn boxes. There we go. And then this is the last thing we should do is to write a scenario test. Let me show you them. Them scenario test, man. Airy. Here we go. Creating a competition. Maybe what's added in here. What do we have here? Challenges should get copied, right? Competition that ends up having an already existing competition should not be created. Seems legit. Then what was I gonna do? Just adding and removing. Don't think I want to do that though. Hang on, man. Because in completing scenarios, right. Okay, so here we are creating a competition, adding challenges to it, and then also adding a competitor to it. Right. We're not removing a competitor, of course. Doesn't really matter, right? Does it? Damn, so basically what I'm doing now is trying to figure out a good scenario for the feature I just added. I think it makes more sense for, like, if I had something like this, where I say when like Lion-O becomes the leader of a competition, is removed by a salty admin, causing causing Snarf, who was second, to become the leader. This would be a good scenario test. But we don't have a concept of leader just yet. I could implement it though. Yeah, I think this will only make sense whenever when I have got like a leader feature, I guess. So, you know what? This I sort of did for, maybe let's say that I already did add competition task builder. Let's also do one for challenge. I think that's all of the things I have. Complete this one. Oh yeah, okay, it needs spaces. Okay. And then let's create a new issue, right? Oh, a competition has a scoreboard listing the scores of all competitors. Will you look at that? Let's do this. Say, add scenario. Nice. Update. Okay, and then what we should do here is get rid of this. So say that we didn't do this. Can you do strike through again? I forget. Doesn't look like we can. I think normally it's done like this. Ah. Maybe 3. Yeah, it needs to be like that, I guess. Update comment. A close issue. And then maybe mention that left scenario test for issue number. This thing, yeah. Comment. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, cool. Let's go over the things that I did today. So first of all, so this is the feature. Maybe that's the most important bit. Let's do the Savage Coder, Save Coder. So we've got a bunch of competitors. Tourney has completed a challenge. Tourney is deleted. And this was a feature that we just did today. Thanks for watching. And next week is gonna be Sunday, I hope. Yeah, that's it. And then we'll do this thing here, and then add some proper scenario tests to it. And then maybe the thing that I'm still wondering about now is like if you click on this, it's not really clear that you can click on it to mark a challenge as completed by someone. Oh well. Alright, thanks for hanging out, and I hope to see you folks next week. Check me out on Twitter if you want to keep updated, or come hang out in all of the Slack channels I'm at. And otherwise, see you next week. Peace!